I'm changing the oil on the beast here, and I think I just dodged another bullet. You know, when you pull old oil out of an engine, it can tell you a lot. And this oil has been in this engine for 19 years. So I was a little concerned that I might find some bad indicators, okay? So what I've got here on the bench is I've got a sample of the oil that we removed. I've got the oil filter housing, the drain plug, and I want to just show you some of the things that I look for when I pull old oil out of an engine. Kind of give me an indicator whether or not I'm going to have a problem. So I'm happy. This isn't all that bad. Let me start by showing you the oil. I just grabbed a sample. This was the end of the oil coming out of the pan. That's what you want to look at, because I'm particularly looking for moisture contamination, and I'm looking for particulate contamination, any type of metal particles. So if you put a sample of the oil in a flat pan like this, you can kind of pan. I wouldn't call this panning for gold, but I would call it panning for metal, okay? I tipped a little bit too far there, but you just tip it back and you're looking for silver particles, any kind of metallic, and there's nothing in this oil. I'm also looking for any type of white foam, a kind of a brownish color, any kind of a foaming brownish color. We're talking milky brown or chocolate brown. That would be an indication that there's been moisture in the lower part of the engine. So this is looking pretty good. The other thing is I was worried about the gasoline smell being in this oil, and you know how obnoxious that was earlier on when I was pulling the fuel system apart. But I smell a smell of fuel, but it's not that smell that's going to drive me out of the shop here. So I'm real happy with the look of the oil. Once again, you inspect the last part that you drain out of the pan. Then I go to the filter. You know, I'm looking for particularly sludge buildup along the bottom edge of the filter right here. Once again, any type of foaming or milky brown color. At the bottom of the filter, I'm going to look for any type of metallic particles, and let me tell you, that's not a bad looking filter for being in there this long. Okay, we'll put the filter aside. Now I'm going to bring up the canister. You know, the O-ring's still soft. I'm looking down inside here. I don't think you're going to be able to see it in this video, but I'll try to tilt this. You know, I haven't even wiped this out yet, and it's really clean. There's a little bit of carbon down in there, but that's about it. So I'm not seeing any signs in the canister. So that makes me happy. And then finally, you always take a look at the plug. Particularly these old engines have this large style of oil pan plug, and I'm looking for sludge and metallic particles. This is the low point in the pan, and this is where the particulates or the sludge will collect. And look at that. I've only got a little teeny bit right there, and it's not metallic. It's looks to me like carbon. So I'm going to put a new filter and new oil back in this engine, getting it ready to crank over. And this is another thing that's giving me a good indication that the beast is going to fire up. Also, on parting, I should comment, I'm going to be putting a magnetic drain plug in the pan. And I'm so impressed with these magnetic drain plugs. You know, there's magnetic drain plugs, and then there are magnetic drain plugs. But from this company that makes these has probably the strongest magnets I've ever seen in the world. Look at this. I'm going to bring in here a 3-pound hammer. Okay? Now watch this. This little magnet is going to clomp onto that 3-pound hammer, and it's going to lift it right off my bench. Can you believe that? 3 pounds. And I can't even, oh yes, okay, if I shake hard enough, I can get that off. But I tell you, I'm starting to use these magnetic drain plugs now in the rear ends, in the oil pans, and in the transmission pan. And we're so impressed with these particular plugs They're custom made. They do fit Mercedes. That I'm going to start carrying them on my website. I want to show you, this is kind of another sample here. This is the drain plug for the diesels, for the, you know, like the 616, 617 diesels that are real common. And I recommend if you diesel owners are watching this, that you pick up one of these magnetic drain plugs and put in your diesel. All metallic particles floating around in your pan in the bottom of the oil are going to stick to this, let me tell you. Now watch this try to pick up a 3-pound hammer. And this is really a small magnet. Okay, look at that. Okay, it's straining. There it goes, 3 pounds. maybe 2.5, okay? But can you believe the strength of these magnets? So we're going to be putting in the beast magnetic drain plugs in the oil pan, rear end, and on the bottom of the transmission pan. So, okay, I'm going to get this all back together, and then we'll get ready for the next phase. The next phase is we're pulling the plugs. We're going to soak up the cylinders with a special fluid that I brew here in my shop, and then we're going to get ready to turn this engine over once we get the cleaning fluid hooked up to the fuel injection pump. So we're getting closer. I want to see this baby run as badly as you do.